Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the SharpSHOOTers. As always, we're your hosts, Danny and Juice. How you doing tonight, Juice?
I'm all right. I'm ready to dive in. Thank you, everybody, for sticking with us and hanging in. We are here, episode 102. It's time for the mid-year shooties, the shootish-ease, if you will.
The
Um,
Shooties. Yes, I apologize
shootish-ease.
for the technical difficulties. That was all on our side with the Discord and some of the camera work. So we are back. We are live. We are also back with our music. Spotify got fixed. You have been hearing Accept the Win this whole time while you were waiting for us to fix our, while you were waiting for me to fix our blenders. Thank you for getting Spotify back and working. Accept the Win. Thank you for being the official band of the podcast. And as always, if you guys can do us a favor, really help us out, especially if you can see with the technical difficulties. We need some help with those subs. 5 out of 10. We could get to 10 out of 10. Help us out. That would be wonderful. It is Tuesday. That means anything goes. We are starting out with our trivia question. My question to Juice. Here we go. You're probably going to get this. You usually always do, but I want to try to always do some random ones that might be fun for some of our guests. So, the 2002, I'm just looking for it. The 2002 Undisputed Championship. The one that debuted in 2002. How many times did that championship main event WrestleMania?
Okay. So it wasn't. So 2002. So that was WrestleMania 18.
Watch the juicy brain work. That sounded weird.
It wasn't 17. So 18. But it was the end of 2002 because it was like Armageddon or I believe, or Unforgiven. It was the end of the year when Jericho did it. So it wasn't really 02. So 03, Angle and Brock was one. And then 04 was Angle and Eddie. 05 was Batista and Cena. Cena and JBL. And then 22, it gets rusty because I stopped really watching. Let's see, by 24, I think it was gone. By WrestleMania 23, I think it was also gone. It's 22 that's messing me up. I'm gonna say 3.
So main evented WrestleMania, you're gonna say 3 times.
Oh wait, okay, thank you. Main evented. Um, not 20. Not 21. I think 21 was Batista. And then 19. So once.
I had to make sure, I had to clarify, just to make sure you didn't get trick
Yeah.
question. It was only once. WrestleMania 19, Brock versus Angle. Every other year
Yeah.
was the World Heavyweight Championship as the main event. And then you're right, in 2006, which would have been, I think, 22. That's when the spinner belt got introduced
Oh yeah.
for John Cena versus Triple H. So, very nice job, Juicy. As always,
Did it.
trivias can never stump you. One of these days, I'm just going to come up with a crazy one that no one knows. All right. So, next up, we have our almost done, but not yet, weekly fantasy board segment.
This is it. The leaderboard.
Anything you want to say before I reveal it?
No, this is the final. We are in the final week. I have received 5 of the 9 lineups.
Not mine.
The deadline is tomorrow at noon. And
PM.
as I've said to all of you by now, if you do not get, I said noon. What noon PM?
Hey man, I'm just making sure people understand.
If you do not get a lineup in by noon, your lineup from the previous week does not carry over. You get 0 points. Your season is over.
This is a tyrant.
Get a lineup in. It's ridiculous.
This sounds
7
like Eric
weeks.
Bischoff.
Play the game. Not that hard.
This is the game.
But yeah, everybody got 40 million. You have to spend the full 40 million. Perfect lineup is at your disposal. If you want to do it, you do not have to do it. It's pretty interesting so far what I'm seeing. Yeah. because there's some crossover. I'm not. I'm very intrigued. And so again, so it's Dynamite. So, and by the way, everybody, enjoy your final night of like no wrestling for quite a while, because now after tonight, you got Wednesday tomorrow Dynamite, Thursday Collision, Friday Ring of Honor, Saturday All In, and if you're doing it, Sunday Evolution. You got 5
Maybe.
like days in a row, and then if you can keep going, Raw after that. But that's the wheel we're on for wrestling. Um, yeah. So I've already said my piece with everybody with the whole changes and rules and whatnot. So let's just reveal the leaderboard, show everybody what it looks like going into the final week.
I had a good week. Not a great week.
There we go.
I had a terrible week.
So we had a little bit of movement at the top. Keverlast reclaiming first place. Jay moving down 1. They're only separated by 3 points going into the final week. Keverlast had a very good week, second best, only behind Harley. Harley had the best week of everybody with 76 points.
Nice.
But mind you, 74 of those 76 points were scored on Dynamite. So she went all in with
Holy
Dynamite
shit.
and got like nothing from Collision. So she took a big swing and it paid off for her. And then from there, I mean, middle, TJ, Notorious, Tanner, no movement, but they all kind of kept it tight. Jim Fields moving up 1 spot, Burn moving down 1. Again, no lineup submitted. That's why he had the lowest score for the week. And Danny still living there at the bottom with 491. But this is a big final week now, because as you all recall, the final week of the season 1, Harley was in first place and dropped 6-7 spots just from her showing. So the potential's there for anybody to shoot up or shoot down, depending on your lineup and how you go. So be careful with your risk. And I didn't go back and look, but I'm pretty sure this one, in terms of at least the top, like, is way closer than the top 6 of last time.
100%. Yes, sir.
Because everybody in the top 6 is within, what is that, 75 points? Yeah. 75 points, and as I've mentioned, if you get a perfect lineup, that's 50 points bonus. So, I mean, the bottom 3 got some work to do. They have a chance. They can at least move up a lot, but they're going to need to really take some swings with their lineup choices. So, yeah, and then from there, the top wrestlers for last week, Mark Briscoe, 19 points. Mercedes Moné, 17 points. Hologram with 15, MJF with 13, Swerve and Takeshita with 12, and then we had Okada, Shelton, and Ospreay each with 11. Yet again, Mark Briscoe, I believe he did not have a match booked and came out of the week with the most points. So it just goes to show you again how much it pays to take your risk on people. Granted, as I've mentioned, this upcoming week now, there are no bonus points for picking people that are not booked, because it's pay-per-view week. Essentially, everyone's going to be booked and have something to do. So, yeah. If there's any questions from anybody in the chat or my co-host, now's the time to ask. I know you still have until noon tomorrow, but if you want to ask now live and in person, get them out there, and I'll help.
Technically, there aren't matches that are booked for the pay-per-view yet.
Yes.
I'm just saying that could have counted as not being booked, you know.
Well, it could have, but it won't. Because now it's just a clean slate now for the week, where it's just like if you pick someone, they're gonna get the standard points. There's no more bonus points.
All season he's been stressing, make some swings, pick some random people. I do it, I get the second lowest points, and now he takes it away from us. This is crazy.
Yeah, well, how many swings are there really to take? Because everyone's booked for the pay-per-view, or you know is going to be on the pay-per-view.
There's only like 7 matches booked for the pay-per-view. Officially.
Only 7. Well, you had 6 weeks, 7 weeks to do something, and you forgot your lineups on the way.
Only for 2 of them. The other weeks I just was really bad.
2 of the 7 weeks. That's a big chunk. It's a third. It's a third of the game.
Over.
Oh, now you want to do math? Okay.
It wasn't the math that was the problem. It was submitting a lineup.
So, yeah, let's have fun. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the weekend, and get those lineups in. Let's see how things look next week. I will be texting everybody after the shows how they did still, but I'm not going to be sending updated leaderboards after every show this time around. I asked around, and it seems like surprisingly a good amount of people were like, "No, I'm good with waiting until Tuesday."
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to leave that be. So you'll know how you do, but not how everybody else does.
Interesting. All right. So
Yeah.
next up, and really what we're going to be doing all night, and I do have a short little one if we want to do something after the break, but pretty much what we're doing tonight is the Shooties half year segment. So that means we only did like the best of the best ones. We didn't do like all out. We didn't do a crazy amount. I believe we did 15 in total.
14.
14 in total. Yes.
Yep. Yep. We have 14 in total, the best and worst. It's not really like Danny said, not very specific topics. It's really just the big ones of like male, female, tag team match, pay-per-views, etc. So yeah, Danny made a choice, I made a choice, and we'll talk it out. 2025 so far, these are half year shooties, and we'll see how things look come the end of the year in comparison.
For
But,
the
let's
record,
dive
I
in.
think for one of the first times in a while we've done these, I put mine first, so I have no idea what yours are. I don't know if you looked at mine, so I don't know if you have any idea, but
So yep, and I want the record to show I had mine made up before I saw yours put in.
I assume.
So we do have some crossover,
Interesting.
which is fine. Which is fine.
Should be.
But yeah, these are nothing. There were a few I debated changing. I didn't want to be the same, but I stuck to my guns. I left them alone.
You had to leave
everything
them
that
the
was
same.
mine. Yeah, I did everything that was mine. I left. I didn't tweak. I didn't change. I didn't peer pressure. Let's do it.
All right, so we're going to do the first 7 before the commercial and then the last 7 after. So let's start off with the first one, which is the best stable of 2025 so far at our decision. Oh, well, do you want to talk about what went into your decision?
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about everything that's out there if we want. We want to just reveal it and then break it down. We can do that. That's fine too. Yeah, and by the way, anybody watching at home, as we're going along, throw it in chat. Not if you disagree or agree, but who you think? Who you think's been the best stable of 2025 so far? Let's go to it.
All right. I chose the Death Riders, and Juice chose the Ops. So I'll go first with mine. Honestly, just they've been consistently doing very well with the main event. They, as I've been saying, I think from the beginning of the whole feud, but also in 2025 when it's been picking up a little bit more, is that they've been the consistent part of the feud, which I've really enjoyed. Moxley supposedly has that World Heavyweight Championship, and he's had to claim on it the entire year. So lots of good matches. So just the Death Riders overall, I think, between both companies. I do like your pick, though. I didn't even think about that until I just saw it.
Yeah, I wanted to put conglomeration again by default, but it didn't feel right. I mean, because despite optics, the conglomeration always lives on and is still ongoing.
That's fair.
It's funny. I didn't really think of it. I know I haven't been watching it, but I'm surprised you didn't roll with Seth's group, the Seth Riders.
So I was debating the Seth Riders. I was debating the Seth Riders, but Moxley's had the World Heavyweight Championship, so I feel like that kind of gives him the edge over Seth. And Seth is a little newer than Moxley's group's been.
Yeah, I debated Death Riders, but then I thought about it, and like even though it's hot now and it's clicking and we're going somewhere with it, I mean those first few months of 2025 were on the rougher side. I didn't mind it, but I know a lot of people didn't really care for the Cope stuff and the Jay White stuff. They thought it was really slacking. They were in a rut. They heated up. So I went with the Ops just because they were a newer breath of fresh air as a group. And that trios title win sticks out to me as so far a defining moment of the year. I mean, I know here we are now, them not having defended them since winning them, but I'm sticking with it because I couldn't really think of another stable. I was debating Callis family, but like besides Fletcher and like Takeshita here and there, they're essentially just fodder. They play their role well.
They haven't won anything like big yet. That's the problem.
Yeah, they play their role well, but I had to go with the Ops. I dig everything about what they're doing, and as much as Hook is okay, I think Hobbs is a huge upgrade personally for the group.
I agree with that. I just, as we've been saying, I just want that story with Hook to just to have some kind of conclusion. Um,
Yeah.
and I also agree with you that the early months were like kind of story wise shitty, but like we were saying on the podcast, I don't think it was because of the Death Riders. I think if anything, the Death Riders are what kept it a little bit more interesting, more than it should have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so nice. I like both these, and of course,
Mm-hmm.
no
I
surprise, both in AEW. Next one is the worst stable. No
mean, listen,
surprise.
it's where the best wrestle.
It's where the
Oh,
best wrestle. And no surprise, both of our picks in the worst table come from the other company. You picked the Judgment Day. I picked the Bloodline. So funny enough, I was going to pick the Judgment Day, and then what edged them out is that they've actually just won. Unfortunately, like they've won something. They've, even if it's been shitty, the Bloodline has been shitty and also not won. Um, and of all of them, I like Dominic the most, so I got to go with the Bloodline. Jay DeFalco,
so
do you pick the
Jay,
Death Riders for the worst stable or the best stable?
thank you. That was my question. Um, see, like now here's the thing. I mean, you would know, I hope, but are they even called the Bloodline anymore? Like, do they even have a name? Is it
I
2.0?
I
Like, are they
don't know what
called
the new
anything?
name is. The last time it was the Bloodline, I looked online. Someone said it might be the new family. He said, "Oh, best." I walked away for a minute. Nice. Okay, cool. I was gonna be like, "We're gonna fight, Jay," because that was my pick for best too.
Eh,
Um, um. So no, I don't think the Bloodline is still gonna be their name, but I also don't
MF
know what their current name is.
Kevlar says MFT.
MFT.
Does that ring a
Oh,
bell for
is it
you?
called My Family Tree? Yeah. So
Is it really?
I
That's
I
hysterical.
saw that online and I wasn't sure if that was official or not. So Keverlass is kind of
All right.
whatever the word is. So yeah. So My Family Tree looks like
Okay.
to be the name. So I'm gonna change that really quick. Actually,
You don't have to. It's
no,
okay.
no,
We
no.
all
I
know.
need to. So it's
Um.
even
All
stupider
right.
because I hate the name even more.
So
So that doubles down as definitely my pick as the worst stable because I hate their family. I hate their
it's
name.
it's like you're doing a school project on like a brown paper bag and bring it in and then my family tree. Like Solo's like holding the crayon, laying on the floor, like twisting his leg.
And
Okay.
he just had like Jacob
Um.
Fatu hanging off at the end. He's like, he's not in the family tree anymore.
The bad apple. Okay.
What, the learning
So
tree?
I went with the Judgment Day, and truthfully, maybe I should have gone with the Learning Tree. The only reason I didn't put them on here was because Jericho basically went away and it was out of sight. So the fact that it was like gone made me like more forgiving of it because it's been gone. But truthfully, if Jericho didn't go anywhere, it probably would have been on my choice.
That's
But I
hilarious.
stuck with the Judgment Day because since I made them my worst stable of 2024, they're still around. They still exist. They've gotten progressively worse, despite having all the belts.
They
This
all
should
have
have been.
gold right now. How dare you?
I don't care.
And they got
You'll
rid
learn
of
very.
Carlito because he didn't make any fucking sense.
You'll learn very quickly with my list. I've decided not to care anymore about championships. And what makes something best or worse. So Judgment Day, still the worst stable of the year.
I'm very excited about the
Um,
rest of your list.
maybe Jericho will come back and make it full year, but for now it's Judgment Day hands down. They gotta be over.
All right,
Put a
two
fork in 'em.
down.
Put a fork in 'em.
Award number 3. What is the best feud or storyline of the year?
Mm,
And you went
mm.
with the Death Riders versus AEW, and I went with Osprey versus Kyle Fletcher and kind of the Callis family, but mainly Kyle Fletcher. But he's also kind of reignited with the Callis family a little recently. Um,
Mhm.
you go first this time. What?
Sure. I
What?
wanted to do Tony versus Mariah, but
Dude, me too. Oh
it
man,
was
I love
the
you.
way it. Yeah. Whoa. Way things kind of ended and had to end because of why made me not go with it. Like It wasn't by design. It was
I
like, all
was
right, she's leaving. We got to do the
I
XYZ
was thinking the
now.
same thing. I was
So
like, the feud in 2024 was great, and they should
yeah.
have let this one kind of be dragged out a little bit more, but they obviously couldn't have, and that's exactly why I didn't pick it too.
Well, we talked about that. I think the plan was to end it this weekend
Yeah.
originally, but I think Tony was going to win the Owen and challenge Mariah as a
Mm-hmm.
flip. But I digress. I went with Death Riders versus AEW because it's like the biggest AEW story going for the year so far. It's taken up the full 6 months of the first half year. Um, so I just thought that's been the most compelling, engaging thing. While people have hated on a few of the things, I enjoyed them. I think Cope and Mox was a good match. I think it just got a really shit spot at the end of the show. At one pay per view, I think Revolution, it
Yep.
shouldn't have closed. Their match on Dynamite like a week later or days later was so much better.
Yep.
It just shows like it wasn't them. It was just the spot on the show after 6 hours of wrestling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going with Death Riders versus AEW. This is the feud that's gonna like define 2025 when we look back in like 5-10 years. You know what I mean? Like this is it. So I think it's the easiest one to put on there.
So which is funny because we were just talking about before how the first few months weren't great because of like the AEW side of it, and that's what kind of pulled me away. And I do agree with you. I think by the end of the year, this will be my pick for feud of the year because I think I like the way they're going right now with Hangman. They obviously have unfinished business with Ospreay. You have Darby Allin eventually coming back, and that's going to be what really gets us all like crazy. So I know this is going to be my pick for the end of the year, but right now, when I think of like just everything that's kind of been hitting, it's been Ospreay versus Fletcher a lot. That huge final match they had in I want to say March I think at Revolution was
The cage match.
was one of the greatest matches of the year. And then he's even had just consistent run-ins with Don Callis, with Takeshita, with some of the other guys. I think he had a run-in with Trent, even though they didn't have an official match. So just I think that's been consistently good matches, but I do agree with you. I think Death Riders vs. AEW will be my feud of the year at the end of the year.
Yeah, long way to go. As we learned with our crystal ball segment for 2025, things can change very quickly.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our next category, the worst feud and storyline of 2025 so far, and the winners are.
Oh shit! Nice. That's great. Yes, sir.
Essentially the same thing, just said differently.
100%.
John Cena's retirement, John Cena's final run.
Awful.
I mean, we had no idea coming into the year that this is where we'd be right now. So some would say props to WWE for that. I say they have no fucking clue what they're doing. And this is all thanks to Dwayne getting scared. What a monumental mess every step of the way. Just, I don't think anything good has come from this so far.
Nope.
Like, I don't think anybody's benefited from it in any way.
Nope.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You've been watching weekly, but from what I've gathered,
No, literally nobody.
Yeah.
You've had all the old guards who he's having the final match with, so they're not going to benefit anyway. R-Truth / Ron Killings, who could have benefited, is halfway out the door. Who knows what's going on with that? So he's not maybe he benefited for a few extra months of a job. That's about it. Cody might benefit in SummerSlam, but that doesn't make sense because he was the one who lost the belt. So I don't know how he's going to benefit from beating John Cena. So no one's really benefited. I did see something online say that if they did this, I wouldn't completely turn, but I'd be like, okay, I'll accept it now. Which is they have I don't know his name correctly on NXT. Who's the NXT World Champion right now? Obi Feta?
Jeez. Oba Femi.
Oba Femi. Sorry. So he
No,
said.
it's okay.
So I saw online, and they said if they had Femi answer an open, like he beats Cody at SummerSlam, keeps the belt. Then just does an open challenge. Like, I have no one else. Someone come out. I'm almost done. You guys have an extra match, whatever. This guy comes out, Femi, beats him in the open challenge, non-title match. Cena gets mad, says, I'm going to not go out like a bitch. and I'm going to challenge you and put my belt on the line. Loses again to this guy, and this guy's just like now the world champion and the NXT champion. I was like, if they went that way, which is a crazy, ridiculous story, I'd be interested. That's literally the only way if they go that extreme.
If you were going to do that, what I would recommend is they won't do this either, but I would, instead of Oba, I would make that Braun. And then you have the dynamic
Braun.
Then you have the dynamic of Seth with the belt, with the
Yep.
contract, and Braun with the belt, and I don't know. So that's what I would do if we were going to go down that road. But
before he said the name, I was thinking that was leading up to Braun. Jay DeFalco did find someone who has benefited. He is correct. John Cena's bald spot is the only thing that has benefited from this final run. That is correct.
Got to thank them Turkish hair plugs. All right, I mean, we'll see how things look in December, but I can't imagine anything.
I'm not too excited.
Getting worse than this for the rest of the way. Because truthfully, I think he goes all the way to the end. I think he's leaving with the belt. But
oh God, I hope not. I don't think he's losing this Cody though at SummerSlam. So,
me neither. Me neither.
All right, let's go with something nice now.
Maybe
best match of 2025 so far.
All right.
And the winners are. Oh, look at that. Another crossover. Will Ospreay, Hangman Page, Double or Nothing. I think, obviously right now, match of the year for both of us. I don't see how anything tops it. It's going to be very hard to top this match all year.
It was tough, but not that tough because I was thinking about the matches. So some of the ones I had up there personally, the cage match with Ospreay and Fletcher.
Yes.
Omega and Takeshita, the international title was up there too. Owens and Cody from the Rumble.
Okay.
Was up there. Same with Owens and Sammy from the Chamber.
I was thinking of Owens and Sammy.
Those two were up there for me. Probably the two best matches of the year for WWE, for me at least.
Yeah.
And then with everything, just the booking alone made this have so much behind it. That I think that helped benefit it and made it the best match. I do think something this weekend's going to beat this out. But to be continued. I think that's what I was
kind of saying. That's what I meant. Sorry, is that the storyline? Whatever match beats this has to have a great storyline behind it, along with the great match. And I don't know, man. Like, as much as I think this weekend's gonna be a great pay-per-view, I think they're gonna mess up that final match. I think they're gonna mess up the main event. I think they're gonna overbook it. And I'm scared. I hope they don't. I hope I'm wrong. I really do.
Well, don't count your chickies yet. We still got some time.
I'm saying I hope I'm wrong.
Well, we'll talk about it more on Thursday. All right.
How many is that so far? That is
moving on. I believe next up is number 6.
4, 5. Yes, sir. Number 6. Worst
match of the year
so far,
as voted by us, your peers.
Just us two.
Your peers, us.
John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. Pretty terrible match.
I gotta ask you, what's going on here with your pick? I don't know what this is.
So we said on this podcast that we wouldn't name these guys by name anymore, give them the airtime. But if we're picking worst match of the year, I am gonna pick the 6-man tag team match that was terrible on, I believe it was Double or Nothing.
Did they? I'll be honest with you. Again, I suppressed them from my memory.
Revolution. Sorry, that was Revolution. That was in March. Yes.
Did they? Okay. Well, there you go.
That was the one. Remember where we didn't pick the match in the predictions.
I don't, because like I said, I got nothing.
That's hilarious.
Even when I saw this, I was like, I don't even want to look up if he did wrestle this year because I have no idea if they
Unfortunately, he wrestled in that 6-man. I think it was him, Orange. That's why I was upset, because Orange Cassidy was his partner, and that's what really pissed me off. Him, Orange Cassidy, and I think Briscoe versus whoever. I don't even remember who they faced. And I remember specifically, and that's why I had to write it, we both would not even pick a winner. We both took the L and just left it blank and refused to pick a winner for that match because we didn't want to watch it. So that's why I had to pick that match for worst match of the year.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, I went with John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, WrestleMania 41, where I know the dust hasn't fully settled yet, but I'm feeling pretty confident saying it is at least top 5 worst WrestleMania main events of all time. May even be in the top 3. I don't have a full definitive idea, but
no,
it's up
pretty
there.
bad. And remember, that's including the first 10 where the matches weren't good. You were just invested in the storyline or the superpower, the megastars.
But, yeah, at least the crowd gave a shit. This
exactly.
was like Carol
just
said, Fiend, freaking Travis Scott coming out, walking for 10 minutes. Oh my God.
It was great. It was so good. I fell asleep during those 7 minutes. It took a nap.
Awful. Very indicative of where we are now in the year.
Yep.
And where WWE views itself as a product and what's priority. So, yeah, for me, easy worst match of the year. I doubt anything's going to beat this because I don't think AEW can do worse than this, and I'm not watching WWE anymore. So odds are you will be seeing this list again in December.
I will probably let you know that there is going to be a match because
probably
John Cena has to keep wrestling this year, and I think he's going to have a match worse than this because there's going to have to be a way, if he does lose the belt, there's going to have to be a way he loses the belt that's going to be he's not going to lose it clean, I don't think. So, we'll see.
Oh, boy. All right.
Be another
Next
Avengers.
Up. Goldberg versus
oh, yeah. That's going to be a early contender.
Well, if you're watching that, Danny, you can report back next week.
I probably will just see how bad it is. Because that's Saturday Night's main event, so we're good. That's nothing. They're out of Saudi. I can watch these again. All right. Last one before the break.
Before
Best
break. Yep.
pay-per-view so far of 2025. I think this is an easy one. I think you chose the same one as I did. Let's find out.
Yep.
Yes, sir. AEW Double or Nothing. Pretty easy pick. You had Crowning of Mercedes, Crowning of Hangman. Great matches in between. I don't know. I believe that was the Anarchy in the Arena match. I don't know what other pay-per-view you can even compare to this one.
Yeah, so, it's funny.
No, but
it's funny because I looked back and, unless I'm misremembering, from the first 6 months, we only had 3 pay-per-views from AEW.
Yeah.
Revolution, Dynasty. It was Revolution, Dynasty, and Double or Nothing. That's it. And so it's really been kind of thin on the pay-per-view front. So when I was looking at the cards, what gave this one the edge to me was not only the 2 Owen Cup tournaments, Anarchy in the Arena, but all 3 pay-per-views have done that same stretch of matches where it's been thrown together Hurt Syndicate match, a thrown together Okada match, and then there was a thrown together, I think, Tony Storm match or something, where it was just okay, we're just giving them something to do. It's not that great. But the Double or Nothing ones in particular were the best set of 3. Out of all the ones. Okada had I think the Brody King match, that one. Hurt Syndicate had the match with Sammy and Dustin. Tony had, I believe, Mina. So they all had the best version of that match from the previous pay-per-views, if that makes sense what I'm saying.
No, for sure.
This was easy pay-per-view of the year, but again, I have a pretty good feeling that this weekend that'll change.
No, I agree. And even when you look at the WWE side, even their big hits this year weren't big hits. Royal Rumble, bust. Elimination Chamber, sucked. What else do you have? WrestleMania, we already talked about how bad that was. The backlash after WrestleMania was a joke. They've had so many Money in the Bank, Night of Champions. All of them just flop after flop, where it's all literally been the same rinse and repeat kind of style with their main events and with all their matches in between. You've had the same people winning over and over and over. So it forget that they haven't been good. They've just all been the same. So how can you pick one that's better than the other when they're all the same thing? Doesn't really make sense.
Well, Danny, when we get back from our commercial break, we'll be doing just that as we determine what the worst pay-per-view of the year was.
Oh
And
boy.
odds are, one of the ones you just said are going to make our list.
I think
So stay,
so. All right, we'll be
stay
back,
tuned.
ladies and gentlemen.
We'll be right back.
And welcome back. Oh, God, ladies and gentlemen. I am joined by Tony Schiavone to introduce. Well, Schiavone, it makes sense that you're here for the next one because the next one is the worst pay per view so far 2025. And Schiavone, no one knows about being the worst than you. So, what you got?
Where's the Tony Schiavone Legacy Award?
Ooh, we should do one of those as like
Where?
what would that be, like the worst commentator or the worst wrestler? And then we do like a Hall of Fame of the worst.
To be determined.
This
All
might be
right.
good.
Worst pay-per-views of the year. Danny, I'm gonna have to call you out a little bit on this one. I understand what you're doing here, but I'm of the belief if you didn't watch it, I don't know how you can legit put it on your list.
I still read about it and still like saw the results and read the reviews of
All
it.
right. That's just my personal opinion. My
That's
2 cents is that, if you haven't watched it or seen it, you can't really put it, but that's fine. Again, I understand what you're doing and why. I'll let you go first, though.
I mean, it wasn't a good pay per view. Even if you didn't watch it, I read the results. I saw how the matches ended. I saw how the main event ended. All again, more of the same old rinse and repeat stuff, but nothing. None of the matches themselves were actually good from what I read, except for I want to say Cody versus Randy was like the only actually like well wrestled match. But besides that, nothing really of note, nothing really significant came out of that pay per view. At least with WrestleMania 41, you had Cena walking out, whatever, with the belt. But just saying, like, nothing significant happened from Night of Champions. I don't know how you consider that. And nowhere near the worst.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I'm going with WrestleMania 41, both nights.
Both nights is crazy. I love it.
It hands down because like night one was awful, minus the main event. The main event was the only match that was probably the only good match of the whole weekend, to be honest. I know you don't agree with that, but night two, the only match that was really good or decent was the women's triple threat that opened. I know you thought that was better than the Punk match, but besides those two triple threat matches, I think WrestleMania was awful. Way too long and way too much filler, and it just was not good at all. So for me, it's easy. I mean, and it was hard, man, because I looked over Rumble again. I looked over Chamber again.
Rumble was rough too. Rumble was almost my pick.
The only reason I gave Rumble and Chamber a pass was because of Kevin Owens.
Yep.
Like that Owens Cody match was that good that it saved it.
But that's also why I kind of gave WrestleMania the same pass, because at least they had matches that, like, I could say that match was good, that match was good.
I don't know, but yeah, WrestleMania 41, easy, first pay-per-view of the year.
Makes
For
sense.
WrestleMania, what are we doing?
Makes sense. All right.
Awful.
Best tag team so far 2025. You have FTR. I picked the Street Profits. Why don't you go first with this with FTR?
It's I know they don't have the tag belts, but this one's a no-brainer. I mean, these guys have been on the whole year, even leading up to the heel turn, which I believe was either at Revolution or before Revolution. I think it was at Revolution, right? After the match, I think they turned on Copeland. But yeah, FTR have been hot. They've been on a run. They've been having the best matches. I mean, like the best tag team matches that I've seen this year. That match with the Outrunners this past week on Collision was phenomenal.
Yeah, really.
If you missed,
I can't wait.
If
to
any of you
talk about
guys,
Thursday.
if any of you guys watched or missed it or didn't see it, go back and watch Collision just for that alone. Great tag match. Very old school vibe and all that. Didn't go to the outside at all. Any of that stuff. Very good.
Watch it, then join us on Thursday to talk about it.
Yeah, it was just they've been so locked in and on with how they're doing their heel shtick. It's been great, and yeah, they deserve it. I think they're the best tag team of the year, hands down.
No, that's very fair. Again, probably by the end of the year will most likely be my pick. But when we were talking about so far in 2025, I was thinking about like just what's been some really good tag team angles that I've really enjoyed, what's been some really good tag team matches that I really enjoyed. FTR was definitely up there and almost my pick, but I went with just what SmackDown was doing before WrestleMania ruined them and before they kind of screwed up that whole division. But they were really hot for a long time. They were really the best storyline of WWE for 3 months. Street Profits were a huge reason for that. They won the belts. They helped with that whole like surge with that storyline, and then again they just all those three teams got screwed at WrestleMania, which is unfortunate because I really feel like they would have had probably the best match of the weekend. But yeah, no, Street Profits for me was my early 2025 pick. But again, I think FTR, if they continue doing what they're doing and hopefully even get a title run by the end of the year, I think they're hands down going to be the pick of the year.
So are Street Profits the current SmackDown Tag Champs?
Yes.
How long have they been Tag Champs for? When they win them again?
Since they won them a little bit before WrestleMania. So
did they
like
win them in that ladder
March.
match?
No, they
win
defended them in
no.
that ladder match.
And they've been champs the whole time since then. Okay. All right. Cool. No, I mean, I'm happy for them. I'm glad they're getting a run, and they seem like they're still going. But I know right now they're feuding with the Wyatt Six. So that's not saying too much.
Bro, I mean,
Um,
they had, and we'll talk about it on Thursday, but they had all of the Wyatt Six, four of them, versus one partner from the four teams in a 4-on-4 tag team match. So it was like one partner from DIY, one from Street. It was terrible. I hated it. All right, speaking of the worst, we go to the worst tag team so far 2025. I'm interested to see who you picked. I picked the Hurt Syndicate. You picked the New Day. Interesting. Agree with you 100%. We just talked about it on Tuesday. I'll go first for this one. As much as I do agree with you, New Day, awful turn, awful everything. We have also been talking about how the Hurt Syndicate has just been like literally bathroom filler for me. Like at this point, when they're on little break, I can go get food, I can go get something to drink, I can go to the bathroom, do whatever I gotta do. They've been awful as champs. They've been awful with the division. They've been awful on TV, awful on the mic. Just I have not enjoyed them at all. Where at least the New Day, the only reason, and I'm just splitting hairs for myself, they at least had a great heel turn that just completely fizzled out. Hurt Syndicate, I don't think, did anything good this year.
Yeah, if we were doing AEW only, I would have done Hurt Syndicate
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Because granted, this is more of a Tony Khan problem, but I mean,
Oh yeah.
they basically crippled. They've basically crippled the. Actually, you know what? No, I probably would have done Sammy and Dustin. Maybe I should have done Sammy and Dustin. Oh well, too late.
Oh, I didn't even think about
So
Sammy and Dustin.
yeah, well, because I've removed Ring of Honor from my brain. It's just
Yeah.
when I want to get really angry. But
Oh.
yeah. So I went with the New Day, and it's funny because when I was thinking about this, they were the first team that popped in my head. And then when I went to go look back at our Shootie Awards for last year, I had the New Day written in as 2024 Worst Tag Team of the Year. And I thought to myself, why would I have done that? And then I realized that they did the heel turn like a week or two prior to our awards. So I did it then half
Oh
jokingly.
shit, that's so funny. I didn't even think about that.
So I did it then half jokingly because I thought it was stupid. I thought that was terrible, and I was being whatever me. But now looking back, I mean,
It's come true.
yeah, I this time I mean it. Like
No, this time
they
100% they deserve it. It's earned.
the heel turn accomplished nothing for them or anybody else. They won the tag belts in a thrown together awful match at WrestleMania.
Which they didn't
And
even
then
deserve to be on the card on WrestleMania. They took the
they
spot from the
did
team we
not.
just talked about with the Street
Yeah,
Profits and SmackDown. Like
they
crazy.
did not deserve it. Yeah, and then they won them, and then I can't speak to this, but from what I've saw and read,
Nothing.
it seems like they did nothing with the belt since then,
Nothing.
and then they lost them to Judgment Day, and again a thrown together Raw match. Then now they're walking around with like flowers, having funerals and shit. I am not about
Their
anything they're doing.
their big feud
Um,
was with the Viking Warrior, whatever their name is. I don't even care what their name is. With them, Viking Raiders, and then they had a little bit with American Made, and then out of nowhere, once what's his face JD came back, then him and Finn are like, I want my tag team belts back, and they just got him back. And again, and I pointed this out last week, it's a heel team beating a heel team with absolutely no build, so no benefit whatsoever for anybody.
yep, and I love Kofi. I don't really care for Woods, but I think it's time to just
Yep,
wrap it up.
I agree. All right.
Yeah,
All
they
right.
ruined it. They ruined the New Day the second they
I know.
did this split. They should have never did it. But moving on.
All right. Worst female wrestler so far of 2025.
We're in the last four now, right? Worst
We're in
and
the
best
last
female,
four. Worst, best.
worst best female, worst best male. So thank you all for sticking with us and joining in tonight. If you have any thoughts about anything we've done so far or these coming up, let us know in the comments. Let us know in chat what you think the best and worst male and female wrestler were, and we will throw it in there with our chat. Oh, worst female wrestler. I'm gonna get heat for this one, so do it.
Wow. I'm going to go first because
Yeah,
you have a lot to explain to do, Lucy. So,
do it.
Zelina Vega, I think, for me at least, obvious choice. Don't like her in ring style, never have. We say it every week how it's just very almost dangerous the way she wrestles sometimes with these people. She keeps getting thrust into these like big programs. She got the U.S. title, which I didn't agree that she should have gotten, just to lose it right away. She didn't have any good matches. She's not really good on the mic. I think her best role is as a valet or a manager. So I picked Zelina Vega just because I don't think she's good at all, and she was featured so much.
Yeah. All right. Well, my reasoning for Rhea Ripley as the worst female wrestler of 2025 so far
Oh
is
shit!
it came to my realization when I saw this graphic that the last 8 times the women's title has been defended over the last year, 7 of those times Rhea Ripley has had to have been in the match. They kicked off 2025 with her winning the women's title from Liv,
Yep.
and it completely made Liv lost, and she ended up doing basically the tag title job at WrestleMania after working her ass off all year. Then Rhea loses the belt to Io on a Raw. Has to They go through this awful, awful booking where her character just goes a full like 180, and she's crying and whining and getting herself forced in there. And as good as the match was, and everybody loved the match on paper and loves mommy and blah blah blah, that was terrible character work. It made her look awful, made
Yep.
her look so bad. And then Mania comes and goes, she loses. And then from what I've gathered and seen, she's basically been lost in the shuffle and just kind of floundering over the last few months, teaming here, tagging there, doing this and that. And now, of course, SummerSlam's coming up, and here she is going into Evolution, getting another women's title shot because she had to beat Raquel in the hardcore match. Like it's too much. And I've liked Rhea Ripley, but the booking has ruined her
Yeah.
for me.
And they do this a lot to these stars where like they kind of did this with Bianca a
Not
few years ago where
fair.
they just
Not
like
fair.
shove them down our throat and then they wonder why fans get sick of them because they're in every
Yeah.
pay-per-view every month and it just doesn't work like that.
So that's why I got her on here. I think she's the worst thing to happen to women's wrestling in the last 6 months, and I think a long break or just something with her character could help. But then they're not going to change her character because they love it.
Yeah, you can't
Fans
change the
love it.
character.
Like it's just something, man. It
No,
just
no.
needs a break. And
What
then
you
they're
really
not going to
need
give her the
is
break.
you need a break. You need her to come back as a face version of her character, but you need her to not be in the title scene every goddamn month. Like that's just like she needs to be in other feuds. Like you can have her feud with other people without a title being on the line.
And that's the problem. Like the answer isn't the tag division, the tag titles, or the
No.
U.S. title. Like, the answer is not another belt. Like it's okay for her to flounder for a while, and that's why it's so embarrassing when it's like, oh shit, SummerSlam's coming up. We need Rhea on the show, so we got to throw her into something, and that's the problem with wrestling.
And what's funny is this would like it sucks that they're still around, but this would have been a good time for Judgment Day to be with her right now because as the female leader without her belt, she could be going crazy. She could be like treating them all like dirt. She could like be going nuts and like going in crazy directions with the group. You know what I mean? Like they can make a story out of that with her. They could have done something like that. So it's just I don't know what they're doing half the time. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
But what's
Yep.
not frustrating is the best female wrestler of 2025 so
Yay!
far. Because we both picked the CEO. Because I just don't know who else you pick right now with the run she's had this year, with how many big matches she's won, how many big matches she's been a part of. I know titles from other companies. I'm not going to pretend to be like, oh, I hold that in such high regard because I watch those companies. I have no idea half the titles she has on her. But she's doing the Ultimo Dragon title run, which I like. She's really making that a part of her character, and she's really got me believing that she's about to add another one this weekend, man. I don't know.
Yeah, the only person I could have argued was for Tony, but
Yeah.
Mercedes is just doing it. I mean, Tony's wrestling probably more than Mercedes, but I mean, Mercedes matches have pretty much all been hits, minus maybe one with the girl from CMLL. That was kind of bad, but I don't blame Mercedes for that. Of course.
It's always them.
Yeah. No, honestly, I do put that one on the other
No,
person though,
no,
because
no.
Mercedes
I know. It's just
Mercedes is
funny.
like Danielson. Like you can get have good match out of basically anybody.
No, I agree.
So
That's why.
if you
That's why I was just
can,
laughing.
yeah, if you can, I think it says a lot about the opponent. Yeah, I think she's had the best year. This is career defining stuff, and
Yes.
has to be recognized. And again, God forbid or God willing, anything leads to a second half downfall here. I think Mercedes is going to have this in December too.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see how this pick changes at all. CMLL wrestler had surgery shortly after the match. By the way. Oh,
Did she really?
interesting.
That explains a lot. All right, I take back kind of what I said, maybe.
Ooh, a slight redaction from Juicebox. I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Interesting.
Moving on, we have the worst male wrestler of 2025 so far. And
Easy.
the winners are easily
Easy.
Jey Uso and John Cena. So,
Easy.
oh, went the wrong way. I mean, yes, I agree. Both picks. I agree with your Cena pick. We just shit on him a couple of slides ago. Jey Uso, this whole main event run was a giant flop. Every match, I think, was actually not good. I can't name you a good Jey Uso match this year. And if anyone can, please correct me if I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong and give him at least one good match this year. But he's had a lot of bad matches. Even the Royal Rumble win was kind of just cool. We kind of got it, but it wasn't. And the Yeet stuff, don't even. I hate it. I hate it. It's just the worst. I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can argue Jey Uso was the domino that led to John Cena being what he is right now.
That you know what? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But the only reason I put John on here is because the thing about Jay is that at least they quote unquote rectified it and the belt's off of him now. He's still doing his damage, but the damage is done. It was what less than 2 month reign.
John
still
still
going.
has the belt.
Cena's still going. Still got this. This has been awful.
I love that.
Yeah, worst wrestler of the year, hands down. He's again, like I said before, he's added nothing. He's done nothing to benefit. And I know I'm a hater, but I think this is something that just no matter how much they try, it's going to hurt his overall legacy.
But you know what? There's a difference between being a hater and just also being able to recognize what's right in front. Any John Cena fan, please say a good match. It just hasn't happened. Say what you liked about this heel run, because it's really been nothing.
What about the 45-minute classic Randy Orton match?
Yeah, great classic. I was gonna say the only thing you might be able to say you liked from this heel run so far was the pipe bomb, and that's because it was just redone for John Cena. It wasn't anything original. It wasn't anything that John Cena came up with. So just please, I don't want to hear it. It wasn't even a pipe bomb. Exactly.
I wasn't even gonna bring that up, but
I have to. And last but not least, we have the best male wrestler so far 2025. I'm going to be surprised if you didn't pick who I picked, but we'll find out right now. And we both picked Will Ospreay. I mean, again, just another tell me someone else. You can argue maybe Swerve, maybe Hangman, but since the start of January, consistently, week in, week out, whether it's Dynamite, whether it's Collision, whether it's a pay-per-view, he has just had knockout after knockout match. He's been all over programming. I personally think his mic skills have actually improved since he's come over. He feels more comfortable on the mic. Sometimes he still has a little bit of a lull, where he doesn't just keep going and capitalize, but for the most part, he's really gotten better with it. And just the excitement that every time he comes out on screen of what's he gonna do, how is he gonna fucking wow us? It's great, man. I just love it.
Yeah, yo. So yeah, Will Ospreay was my runner-up last year.
Yes,
and I believe I even said if it wasn't for Danielson having his final year, Osprey would have been number one, but I couldn't deny Danielson. And Osprey's kept it going. He's kept it going this year. He's been the MVP. I mean, the cage match with Osprey. Last week with the Bucks, he was partially unintelligible. Well, I
I
digress.
say got better, not good.
Bro. You know what? That's part of what makes Will too. He's being real in himself, and that's the stuff I can admire. Is like not perfection on the mic and just being him. I'd rather that over a forced reading of a script kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I almost debated Kenny Omega. He's close this year. He's having a very good year. But he's not. No, honestly, I gave it to Will because Will's wrestling more. So
Yes.
he's getting the quantity goes to Will. The quality is pretty even though. But yeah, I'm giving it to Will.
I agree with that a lot.
It's going to be very interesting to see how the rest of the year goes because people that I had close behind, Fletcher is having a great year.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people won't agree with it. I think Mark Briscoe's having a very quiet, good year.
Mark Briscoe is honestly like a backbone piece of the programming right now. And he, it doesn't matter where they put him on the card. Anywhere they put this man on the card, he is delivering.
It's guys like him, Claudio,
Mm-hmm.
Roderick Strong. Like those are the guys like you put them on and they're gonna deliver. And Mark's kind of doing that. He's been doing it. But
And not even the match wise, even entertainment. Like give the man a mic and just let him go out there. He's gonna, for the most part, unless your name is Matt, he's gonna entertain you and he's gonna make you laugh and he's gonna be great to watch.
And another person that would be up here, but he's kind of quieted or cooled off the last few months. And I'm not saying it because of what just happened on TV, but Ricochet.
Yeah.
He had a very hot start to the year. He's still fine.
No, the last
But
month, though, in this search of a team, he's just hasn't done much on TV.
Maybe he'll heat back up and get another program. But, like, even the Mark Briscoe stretcher match thing was good. But, like, you could tell there was kind of nothing really for him. They kind of threw that at him to kind of keep something going on. But, yeah. Yeah, so he's had a good year, but he's kind of cooled off a little bit. So hopefully they can bounce him back.
And I know we've named a lot of AEW guys. I will be honest, I was trying to think of some WWE guys to even just get up there just for like an honorable mention. And I think the problem with a lot of them is that there's been no real consistency from a lot of guys because of the way the writing is for WWE. Like some of these guys haven't had matches for like have a month in between each match, or like the feuds like are so stretched out that like you're only having one match a month just because of the feud. Like you can't really give someone wrestler of the year when you're not wrestling at least 3 times a month. Like that's crazy that you're even asking for that.
Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, the only person from WWE I would have considered, and I didn't because he got hurt.
Cody
Owens.
Oh, Owens. Okay.
Owens, dude, I mean, he was so hot going into Mania. Like, I think he would have had a huge freaking year. But, yeah, Owens is the only one. Because, I mean, even, like, Punk, I mean, he had stuff going on with Rollins. And after the pay-per-view, what's he really been doing here? Between that and the Cena stuff, it just feels like he's not doing anything that's like, defining.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah.
Like the Drew stuff was dope when he was fighting Drew, the trilogy, and the Rollins stuff. I don't know. It just feels like Punk's kind of just there.
And I think this kind of goes to what I was saying on Tuesday, where like it's Punk's just one of many guys right now, so he's not really directly even feuding with Rollins right now, unless he gets the belt. Then that's when he's gonna be in direct feud with Rollins. And like right now, he's just one of many guys. So like, and then even Rollins, same thing with Rollins. You can argue maybe Rollins right now, but what was Rollins doing 2 months ago? You know what I mean? What was Rollins doing in January when he wasn't winning the Rumble? Like Rollins hasn't really been doing anything either except for more recent stuff. So unfortunately, no one from WWE.
That was it. Yep. All right. Well, and honestly, man, I know I feel the way I feel like with WWE and everything like that, and AEW's been good, but I feel like this year's kind of sucked overall. Like
it's been a very predictable year.
I'm not really like there's been good. There's good in there. AEW is like good, but like when I looked at the three pay-per-view cards, you kind of see the formula
Mm-hmm.
of how they've all kind of been the same with like the champions and the
Mm-hmm.
places. So I don't know. I mean, I've enjoyed a lot about AEW, but like minus Owens' stuff early on, like WWE's had nothing. I've soured on Ring of Honor. TNA's basically dead.
Yeah, was
Um,
CNA.
it's just it's been a tough year for wrestling for versus 2024, at least I think. But maybe I'm not. I
Well,
just
I
think
think
the Jey Uso Cena stuff just set the tone for so much bullshit.
I was gonna say I think there's been a lot of things. I think AEW, and I think we honestly said a few times earlier, AEW just had a very slow start to the year.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like the
They're
first few
carrying.
months there, and like end of the year, yeah, the first few months though were like they were kind of stuck in the mud with their main event scene and their main storyline and stuff like that. So like some people were kind of checking out a little bit, and then they were going to WWE, which was like, all right, here's some hope with Jey Uso. This is interesting, someone new that the kids will like. So like, let me try to get my head behind it, and then that was just falling flat. Even right after they crowned him as the Royal Rumble winner, and then that, like you said, set the tone for the rest of the year. With now you had the heel turn with Cena, which we all hated because it wasn't organic and didn't make sense. And then you had WrestleMania, which was just a giant bust all around. Even the Jey Uso's crowning moment at WrestleMania, which we all were like trying to be like, all right, maybe he'll give us something. Maybe it'll be a good match. The match was terrible. Like the match didn't even end making sense. So like 100% I agree with you. WWE didn't give us any hope. And then now AEW is finally starting to get on the uptick. But all the other
Yeah.
companies that these guys have bought, they're just treating it as their, farm system. So all these companies aren't fun to watch.
Yeah, my last thing I'll say, and then we can wrap up. I think one of my biggest problems across the board right now with wrestling is just like it seems like no one knows how to book their champions anymore. Like they get the belt, and then it's kind of like they just have the belt. Like Garcia had the belt, they didn't capitalize. Cole has it right now, and it seems like Fletcher's about to get it. Bandito had it, didn't do anything with it. Like Jericho had it, didn't do anything with it. Like the Mariah made a Tony thing felt weird because Mariah was leaving. The trios and tag divisions across both companies is just a mess. Like it's just there's a lot of long reigns, and I think we need a big shift in who has what belts and how the belts are presented and defended.
I'll
Like,
just,
because
and go ahead.
now we're unifying the international title and the continental title. Mercedes doesn't look like she's going to be losing these belts anytime soon. It's just like I don't really know where the end to it is, but like I feel like none of the actual championships are being handled well. They're on the people, and the people are being presented well, but not the championships, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They, I don't know.
No, I agree with you. I feel
It's
like
just frustrating.
it wouldn't be a big deal if you did it for one or two belts where they didn't get defended often. But when you do it for every belt, it becomes very noticeable, and that's the problem. When we
Yeah.
were kids, and what really got us like hyped about some nights is like there'd be a random intercontinental defense, there'd be a random European title match, there'd be a random tag team title match, and be like, cool, like these guys who have been winning matches or not even or in the storyline, whatever. There's a random match and a random title defense just any night of the week, which is great. Now it's like, all right, the next title defense will be a month from now. We're letting you know, like, this is how you. And then we even have the second title defense after that because the next number one contender is ready in the wing. Like, it's so premeditated and so
Hmm.
elongated out that we're just like, all right, so we're not gonna see a title match for
And
2 months. What do I care about
and
the
I'm
title?
I'm fine with like I've always been fine with the mindset of one defense a month, but what kills me, and it's apparent more than ever with what's coming up this weekend, is I'm just so burnt out on matches to crown contenders. Like, let's get a feud, a
Yeah,
story.
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
Yeah.
stop using matches to crown contenders to set up title matches, and like let's actually get like a story involved in. And some of them, and most of the things have stories. It's just like,
But the stories are being grown from the contender match. Like, let
yeah,
the story be the story that, like, oh, you keep attacking me. Oh, you keep challenging me. Oh, you keep interfering in my matches. All right, I'll give you the title match finally.
yeah.
Like stuff like
Like
that.
like even so, don't even get me started on it. I know I said I was gonna be done, but now I'm
No,
I'm
we're
rolling.
we're
But
getting restarted, guys.
oh, so the Evolution Battle Royal.
Yeah,
So the winner of that gets a women's title shot at Clash in Paris at the end of August. So like I don't get like okay, so Jade won Queen of the Ring and gets a title shot at SummerSlam. So why wouldn't you just make it whoever wins the Battle Royal gets the other title shot at SummerSlam?
because you
And
got to build
like
up Night in Paris.
and then but like that's after SummerSlam and Evolution and it's like did I really read it right? Is the build up for the Rhea Io and the Tiffy Trish match like they just let the champions pick their challenger? That was it.
Yeah, I don't understand why that was like that wasn't
Just I
explained.
choose you
Just all of a
because I
sudden,
haven't
Tiffy came out. I was like, I'm choosing my opponent for Evolution. I'm like,
like
why? Where?
why
Why can't they be? Especially for Evolution, you're trying to do an all women's pay per view. Give us a storyline for the title. Give us something to sink our teeth into, not just some random match against what Trish fucking Stratus for what reason? Because she was
like
around a year ago. Like what?
and why would Io pick Rhea
Yeah.
and just a week prior Io was doing a segment with Asuka saying I want to fight you for the
Mm-hmm.
belt. So why would Io pick Asuka?
Mm-hmm.
So
But
that's
this
it.
is the problem. This is what we're talking about. That there's no story. That there's so much time. You're giving us 2 months for a title match, and then now you're gonna build a story in that 2 months, and it's not even gonna be like a great story because it's all built around I won a number one contenders match, not any personal rivalry, not anything that I can really like be like, oh, you're right, you're wrong. It's like, no, you're the champion, you're the contender. That's the story. Great. I'm really excited for that story. Like if I want to see that story, I can go to UFC, I can go to boxing, I can go to that shit. I don't like I come here to see more like storytelling. There's a reason why it's like supposed to be kind of a soap opera, especially WWE. Like AEW, I understand a little bit more. AEW, they're trying to be like more the wrestling technical side. TK isn't as strong with the storylines. I can understand why they're not supposedly as good. WWE's been doing this for fucking what 40 years now. You don't know how to write a story anymore. You don't
Vince is
have
gone
writers? Like
and
what the hell?
Yeah, well, Vince is gone and now they're under the TKO banner, so everything's all more UFC.
It's
All right.
awful, man.
I am done there.
Yeah, that
For
was
the
my
sake
rant
of
too.
us and our viewers, we will stop there. Thank you all for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Buckle up and get ready for the week ahead. Tomorrow, Dynamite. Thursday, Collision. Friday, Ring of Honor. Saturday, All In. Sunday, Evolution. A lot in between if you're gonna watch that stuff. If you are, good luck. And
Am I correct
yeah,
in and saying and reminding, because I now that I said that, I am correct. Thursday will be a 7 o'clock start time because of Collision.
yes, we will be starting at 7 o'clock. And also, we're going to be taking a different approach this Thursday. We're not going to have any bullet points. We're just going to do our predictions for both Evolution and All In. We're going to do them live this time. We're not
Yeah.
going to have them pre-written in. We're going to go match by match and just break them down and talk about them there. So that'll be our week, and we're going to be off the air before 8 o'clock for everybody to watch Collision live.
Yep.
Even though it is pre-taped, but I digress. And yeah, get your lineups in. If you haven't yet, you have until noon tomorrow. Get them in for the final week. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you 7 o'clock on Thursday.
Peace out, everybody.